Hey guys, good morning, Saturday morning. Hope you had a nice sleep last night. Unfortunately, it's a little gloomy here in Toronto, but I'm sure the sun will pop out a little bit later. I'm going to go over phase three, which is the reintroduction of certain food groups. So I will mention that I'm just sort of glazing over the way that this cleanse would work. By no means am I, um, you know, uh, wanting you to utilize these Facebook Lives to do the cleanse because you need a lot more hand holding, I think, when it comes to doing some sort of a cleanse. Hey, Peter. Um, so I just want to drive that point home that these Facebook Lives are not meant for you to use them to do the cleanse because there's a whole protocol involved, and I just want to kind of glaze over some of the details with you, and then from there, if you are interested, you can always just ask me for more information. Okay, so the reintroduction phase is basically the point of the total body reset where we're identifying food sensitivities or intolerances. So foods that may have been causing you a little bit of toxic reactions before starting the cleanse and without you even realizing it. So maybe gluten's making you feel a little bit lethargic or foggy brained, unable to think clearly, and you never really knew it until you removed it during this cleanse. So the main reason you'll feel better on the cleanse is because you've removed these intolerances, and they are the most common irritants. So your gluten, your dairy, your soy, corn, your high sugared fruits and that kind of stuff. And basically you've given your digestive system a rest as well as your immune system. So when we are eating things like gluten and dairy, I'm just going to go with those two because they're the most common. Our immune system, especially when we're intolerant to them, our immune system goes under attack, and we actually attack these foods as if they're foreign invaders. So no wonder you're having joint pain, or you're feeling foggy brained, or you're tired, or whatever it is when you're having these items, because your body's having to work harder in order to process these things. Sorry, phone's going a little bit crazy. So that's where autoimmune issues develop, which would be further down the road if you keep, I'm going to say, abusing things like gluten and dairy when you know that you shouldn't be eating them because you are having these reactions. So unfortunately, down the road, that's where autoimmune issues arrive, and you have to deal with them in a different manner. Hey Guy, how's it going? Thanks for joining. So the common irritants would be something like gluten, dairy, corn, soy, bananas, believe it or not, super high in sugar, eggs, your nightshades, chocolate, unfortunately, I'm sorry, and things like alcohol, because a lot of alcohol these days is not organic, and they're spraying the fruits. So for wine, they're spraying the grapes. Vodka, let's go with, they're spraying the potatoes. So when the alcohol is not organic, we're going to run into issues. Or just altogether, you may just have an intolerance to alcohol. So some of these irritants taste great, right? Our coffee, our chocolate, our alcohol, bananas, that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, they are causing intolerances in the body. And making you feel terrible, right? So a cool thing about this cleanse is that we will be journaling throughout the reintroduction phase. So we're going to get clear on what is causing you issues in your body and how your body is triggered. So maybe it's the gluten, maybe it's the dairy, maybe it's sugar. Who knows? We don't know until you try it. So the first thing we're going to reintroduce is gluten. And it's kind of like a 2-day reintroduction where you're having it at every meal, and you're doing that for 48 hours, and then you're journaling. Okay, how do I feel? Am I can I think clearly? You know, am I lethargic? You know, do my joints hurt? You know, am I constipated? That kind of stuff. I want to know all of those details. And then the same thing with dairy. So hang on, let me backtrack. So with gluten, we're doing it 2 days and at every meal, and then we stop, and then you're still doing the cleanse-friendly foods, and then we're taking the gluten out, and then we're going to reintroduce dairy for 2 days at every meal and see how you feel. No gluten at this point, and then we're journaling, okay? So that's sort of how it works. And then you can move on to the other common irritants, such as I mentioned, like sugar, caffeine, alcohol, you know, whatever it may be. And then you can move on to the other common irritants, such as I mentioned. It's really weird, I'm hearing an echo. Anyway, so that's kind of how it would work. And tomorrow I thought I would do, there's some really great recipes. Hey, June. Hey, Anita. Oh my gosh. Saturday is the day to do Facebook Lives. Tomorrow, I thought, being Sunday, I would take one of the recipes that is involved in the cleanse and like make it for you guys and just include you in my kitchen. So I'm gonna see how that's gonna work. But I basically just want to show you how easy some of the recipes are. Like, it's not, I know I've seen a whole bunch of cleanses online and they make them so complicated, but it really doesn't have to be complicated. It can be super easy, delicious, and whole food based. All right, so hope you're having a great Saturday, and we'll see you tomorrow in my kitchen. Okay, take care. Bye.